Aloha! Well, now that I gave up trying to shoot gardening videos for the day, the sun comes out. It turns out it's going to be beautiful for a while at least. Oh well. Yeah, best laid plans, as they say of mice and men. Yeah, I've been getting travelers. I've been having visitors coming by, people, many of them actually seeking property here. Others just out for a lark and enjoying paradise. But I'm seeing quite a few people looking for property again over here. You know, regulations lately have relaxed. You don't have to prove that they stuck a needle in you, to get to the island anymore. So things have gotten back to something very close to normal for a while. And I'm starting to see things returning to something near normal myself. But few things have changed in the meantime. Well, one is the price of real estate on this island has really gone up during all of this. And well, what I'm seeing is that many people, where I would always say, start from the midline in prices and go up. Do not start from the mid and go down. Well, they're starting from the mid and going down. Why? Because the up is getting pretty expensive. We got, $1 million houses plus $1.5, $1.8 million houses right here in Mountain View now. Good Lord, this is Puna, and it rains all the time over here. So that's special. Yeah, things are getting out of control a little. So what this is doing is there are people now who wanted to have property here, who had considered doing this, who now they're panicking somewhat. And because of the rapidly inflating value of property, well, now what's happening is parcels that nobody could sell. They just, most people knew better. They weren't going to get involved in that. Well, parcels that just couldn't be sold easily, now all of a sudden people are looking at them. And so, well, it's not my problem. Not really. It's not going to change anything right here. There are no cheap parcels right here. So this is going to stay the same. But on the other hand, in paradise, I think there probably is one or two spots around this island that are so incredibly perfect they actually do qualify as paradise. Otherwise, everywhere else has got some problem or another. Yeah, there's a meth lab down the street, or place across the street is full of junk cars, or the roosters never stop crowing, or the lava flow opens in the middle of your driveway, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things. A lot of things that keep paradise from being paradise. And I'd say that most parcels on the island have at least 1 to 10 problems with them that would probably make them less than desirable. But now, with prices going as they are, a lot of these places that you just couldn't sell them, man. Nobody wanted them. Now all of a sudden they're becoming attractive to people because the price on some of those parcels is down. Well, like I said, every place has got a problem. Even my place, yeah, I got issues. But, there are places that naturally, that's not just historical, naturally, have been rather undesirable throughout. Places like Hawaiian Ocean View Estates, Hove, Hove, over in Kau there on the slopes of Mauna Loa. This has been a place where, I mean, really, the FBI relocates their witness protection program there. I mean, it's not a place where anybody would really want to live. It's mostly lunar landscape. It's mostly relatively recent lava flows. They vary in age. There are some older ones that have some trees, and there's younger ones that are nothing but cinder, but pretty much the whole place looks like the moon. And Mauna Loa is a big volcano. It is a big mountain. And it hasn't erupted for a little while. It's nowhere near being inactive. It will erupt again. And it might be soon, because we kind of been going in rotation here between the different peaks and pu'us, and Mauna Loa ain't done much lately, so it's a little overdue probably, or it's heading to probability of erupting. Well, that thing is huge. It's miles and miles and miles away from Hilo, but it endangers Hilo even, because it's so much magma that can pump out of that thing will go down the backside through the saddle and head right down the Wailuku towards Hilo. Yeah, so I'm seeing people with interest. Now, there's always been some people who, well, shall we say, had heard the history and have an attitude about the eastern side of the island being wetter, and it's true. It is. That's not a myth, and so they're drawn to Kau. It's a district here that has Hove in it because it's drier. It's not. Well, it might even be about half of Hilo's rainfall. I'll have to look at some maps, but let's say Hilo's about 120 inches a year, and well, over in Kau, there's places where it's only 60 to 90 inches. So it's drier, sunnier, a little bit warmer too. And so this appeals to people who think that they would not be able to live with the rainfall we get in eastern Hawaii. Now, after having lived here for years, I don't think I could live without the rainfall we get in eastern Hawaii. It's kind of a myth, I think, for some people, this sun thing. It depends. You know, if all you like to do is lay around in a lawn chair and get skin cancer, well, then I suppose that's a good thing. But if you're involved in trying to grow food, for instance, it's not a good thing. And, you know, Hove, for instance, has absolutely no soil. There is no soil. It's rock. And so, you know, anything you do that way has to be artificial. Unless you're right on the highway in that area, where there probably is a county water main running. Most of the main highways have them. If you're off the main highway there, well, good luck with your water. You can't make a well, and most people catch water from the sky. But when you start to leave the rainier areas of the island, that's not really that feasible anymore. You will definitely run out of water here and there, now and then, and again and again. If you're trying to set up in one of the drier areas and catch water, you know, there's small things, you know, but folks who come from the mainland, for instance, well, I came from the mainland originally, and I thought when I, you know, purchased land here that I was going to be able to drill a well. Long story, and I'm not going into that today, but no, I wasn't drilling a well. That ain't going to happen. I am not a multi-millionaire. It's what it would have cost here to do that. So, luckily, on my parameter list, I had said I want access to county public water. And it cost me a bit. I dropped $8,000 in trying to get a pipe stuck in, going out there to the highway, but it was worth it. I got the water. I also have catchment. And we get enough rain over here that catchment works. But I use catchment for water plants and other things. For all home uses, I'm using public water. That's just one small thing. Now, there are advantages to living on lava land. Right, and that's 2 people in the last week I bumped into. The folks with the T-shirt apparently have moved themselves out onto the lava flow in Kalapana. And well, I don't know about that, but they lost a space, I guess, during the Leilani eruption. So what they had apparently got inundated. So I guess they found themselves out on the flow itself, setting up. If you like living on the moon, the landscapes for lava here are good. They're lunar living. Advantages, a lava flow doesn't have as many rats as a jungle does. There aren't quite as many mosquitoes, most likely. There's less roosters crowing. Probably less children screaming. I mean, for starters, Hove is barely even 50% filled the lots, and good reason why. But there's a lot of empty space over there. The other advantages, well, it's the view is always good off a lava flow. There's nothing in your way. Air circulation is good, but there's a slap hand to that because the wind is insane. When there's no trees, no forests, it sweeps through. Like I said, every place in this island has some kind of a problem or another that may not be evident. Other issues with being in that area that are negatives are that is the worst VOG in the state. The worst. It doesn't get any worse than that. From probably Kona, south, wrapping around South Point and over towards Pahala and Lehu. The air in there, and I've seen it when it was, oh man, it looked like the atmosphere at Jupiter. I couldn't breathe it. Couldn't roll the car windows down. Crops were dying in the area. People had protea crops going over there, and proteas were dying because of the air. It's the worst air on the island. And, of course, there'd be some VOG today because we do have the caldera is emitting at the moment. So there'd be some VOG. But, you go over there and you look at it, oh, this isn't too bad. This is like a nice day in Chicago. Bill must be nuts, Yeah, well, Bill was standing there in 2009 when that caldera opened up, man. Whoo, hoo, hoo, hoo. It comes and goes, these problems. It always changing. And, the spot you're looking at may look really good today. It's not bad. Things you heard about it are probably not true, Well, let's just take, for instance, Hove. What are your negatives if you move into that area? Well, to begin with, it's ugly. Yeah, on an island that generally is lush, beautiful, full of flowers and, ferns and stuff, it's ugly. It's nothing but stinking lava, all right, to begin with. It looks like pavement. That would be my first reason why I wouldn't want to live in an area like that. It is very far removed from all commercial centers on the island. You have to commute up either to Kona or over to Hilo, which is a considerable distance from there, if you need to get much of anything. Local shopping is, you're probably better off at the, as far as Na'aleu is concerned, which is a major town over in that area. Their farmers market out front of the Ace Hardware and the post office and the Punaluu Bakery are probably the only 2 businesses in town worth even talking about. It's not good. It's not good. And because of the isolation and things, the economy is the worst on the island. You can see it in people's faces. It reads. You can tell if you come from this side of the island, or if you come from the Kona side, and you get over in that area and you look at people, they're not happy, okay? Because they're not getting what everybody else is getting, I think. It's a hard place to make a living. That's an issue, because it's around you every day, you know. These are things you may not see initially. You may not even think about them, especially in your joy to go shopping for a piece of paradise before the price drives you out of the market. You know, that's what I'm seeing right now. People are scrambling and, I don't know, they're looking into some stuff that I wouldn't be looking at, I'll tell you that. Like I said, there's a lot of land here that nobody's been able to sell for ages. Why? Because it's no good. That's why it's no good. Yeah, well. Anyway, I just thought I'd make a comment on that, because this is something that I had long warned people about here, was the low-priced pieces of real estate. They ain't paradise. They're problems. That's what they are. So, fortunately, driving the price up is driving some people to look at those pieces now. You know, I'd probably buy myself 40 acres in Michigan and something and forget about it. Yeah, I would, rather than live on the site of an active volcano. You know, Mauna Loa can blow at any time now. And you'll wish you hadn't built your house underneath it. Yeah. Yeah, well. Aloha, y'all. Yeah, just fair warning. You hang loose.